Hello and welcome back to F1 2017 career mode with me, Love Spuds, and welcome to Bahrain for part 3. As you can see in the Drivers' Championship, Vettel scores maximum points, 50 points, and Raikkonen second, so Ferrari doing extremely well, and in the Constructors as well, taking maximum points, with Renault in second, with Spuds leading the charge. So there you go, first on pole, Lewis Hamilton, and we'll have a look at Spuds' lap in just a moment. But as you can tell, I am cold free, I am back after a little while, and we're using a new editing software as well. So if things seem a bit different in my editing, that's why. There should be only subtle changes, but there are changes nonetheless. I'm still getting to grips with it at the moment. Anyway, let's get on to Spuds' lap here, going around the first couple of bends here. It's not too bad. First sector is usually the best sector for me in this on this track, but some of these corners you'll see I'm not too comfortable in the car. Spuds is not comfortable. I'm going to refer to myself in the third person for as much as possible, but occasionally I do say me or I a lot. So going around there, so not too bad. We're up 7/10 on our best time so far. We're a second run in Q3. We're currently in 10th position, and it doesn't look like we're going to get very far up the order. Maybe 8th or 7th if we're lucky, but braking like that and cutting the corner, going over the curb has cost us maybe a little bit of time there. It didn't seem much time left on the delta there. It didn't seem like much time wasted, so to speak. But going around that bend, we made up a 10th there, so 8/10 up into the final sector now as we come round. So as you can see, Spuds is not entirely comfortable. It seems to be braking a bit earlier than usual, trying not to understeer a bit. Maybe you would have liked a bit more oversteer in the car if possible. And again, cutting the corner, turning it a bit too early, unsettling the car and going a bit wide there. As you can see, the delta going right down there. Lost a lot of time on that final corner. Didn't get a very good run out of there at all. But never mind, we end up 10th, and to be honest, even if I'd saved like 8/10 or 9/10, we still probably would have been 10th. So let's just have a look at the starting grid here. Lewis Hamilton lines up first, Valtteri Bottas second, the Mercedes front row with the Ferraris lining up behind. The Mercedes looking to get back on top. Max Verstappen then, Massa, Ricciardo, that's the one, Perez, Ocon, Spuds 10th there, Grosjean, Sainz, Hulkenberg. So Renault's not extremely strong on this track, if I can get my words out. You can see the rest of the grid down there, the McLarens and Saubers racking up the grid. Yeah, that's it, that's the word. Wrapping up the grid. Let's go down to the start of the race now as we go. Oh my god, my words. 5 lights and we're off. Let's go. So Mercedes get a good start, so do the Ferraris. Good start from the Force India down, going up the middle there. Spuds on the left-hand side there, you can see in the yellow Renault. And Hamilton gets around the corner in first position. Bottas followed right behind there. You can see the two Ferraris as well, just fighting behind there. Let's try and get a camera angle on them if we can. Where is that camera angle? You can just see them in distance there, side by side. Raikkonen's going to go up the inside, Vettel's going to go around the outside. If only we could just change camera angles. If only I'd noticed that in editing. That would have been hunky-dory. We should probably have a look at that in a replay just in a moment. Here we go. Ooh, just a bit of contact there maybe, but Vettel gets his nose in front and gets himself up into third there. The Mercedes will be hoping to pull away a bit though. You can see a little bit of a gap opening up there, and that sole Red Bull there, I would assume, is either Verstappen or Ricciardo. It's one of the two. I think it's Ricciardo, but I'm probably wrong. 50-50% chance, and I'll probably get it wrong, don't you worry. And then there's Spuds, I think, just behind that Red Bull. You think he's done alright? Yeah, there he is. He's got the Force India of Ocon right behind him there, putting him under a bit of pressure, especially as Spuds is uncomfortable around the circuit. Usually is pretty good round here, but for some reason this year, maybe it's down to setup or lack of practice, I don't know. But he's not comfortable. He's not really getting much of a gap, so he's going to be under pressure coming down the main straight here. I wouldn't be surprised if he has to cover up the inside. Let's just have a look now. Got a nice outside angle here. Ocon's going for the inside here. Is he going to outbrake Spuds going down to turn 1? You can just see all the cars zooming past. Look at the speeds they're going at, running down to turn 1. Two Taurus's back there. I think, no, it's that Sauber actually. But side by side, going up the hill here. Bit of argy-bargy going on here. As a Williams Massa's kind of try and come up the inside here. What's he going to do? Spuds brakes very late, ran outside, and Ocon is get hit. And hit again by Massa. As if Massa didn't realise that a big pink car was in front of him. After that spin, I don't know what they was thinking there. So let's just have a look on board with Massa, just have a bit of a replay here. See the Renault and the Force India side by side is going up the hill. Ocon tries to put the squeeze on Spuds, but Spuds is not having any of it, and Massa tries to take advantage, going up the inside. But as Ocon turns in slightly, Massa nicks him, and they both go into a bit of a spin. So that calls out the safety car, and that's lap 2. Already we've got a safety car. So that was Verstappen up ahead. It's Verstappen up in 5th. Spuds is in 6th. They're all on super soft tyres as far as I know. I didn't quite look to see what the other guys are on. And you got Perez now behind after Ocon and Massa came together there. So you can see Spuds needs to do some fuel saving as well. He did, for some reason, use a lot of fuel. Don't quite know what happened to it. Unless he underfueled the car, which is a very strong possibility there. So let's have a look at the tyres. Hamilton and Bottas are on the super softs. The Ferrari of Vettel is on the soft, and Raikkonen's on the super soft. So a different strategy being taken by Vettel here. And can Vettel, yeah, sure. Vettel, can he make this strategy work? He's going to go for a long stint to start with, and he's going to go on the faster tyre, I assume, on his second stint, but there most likely will be 2 stops this afternoon. Let's have a look at the start here now. So Vettel didn't get a great start. The Mercedes, both of them got a very good start off the line there. Made a bit of a gap there, but Vettel locks both tyres up. He has a massive lock-up going into the first corner, and that brings Raikkonen up to the inside. He cuts the corner, barges his teammate, and having a bit of argy-bargy as we're coming up to this bend here. Let's switch to Raikkonen and see if we can get a good view of this. So they're going still side by side, neither of them giving an inch. Vettel gets his nose ahead, just a bit of contact there, but Vettel gets the inside and Raikkonen has to pull out of it. Now on board with Ocon now as we get a very good start. A very bad start from Perez there. He goes backwards, Ocon goes forwards, and Ocon takes advantage of it fully, of the open gap here, as he slots himself nearly up into 5th. And he gets himself in all sorts of trouble, in a bit of a sandwich there as Spuds goes round his outside on the right and gets a little bit held up there. If he'd got a better traction, he probably would have got away a bit better, but Spuds is there to pick up the pieces. So again, you can see a very bad start from Perez there, as Spuds is going to go up the inside for an inside lunge. He can't quite believe there's that much room there. You see Ocon on the inside and then the outside there. Gets collected by Spuds on the way through. But luckily Spuds has not been damaged there. So Spuds is just ahead there, on board with one of the Toro Rossos here. Didn't quite catch who that was. It will probably come up on the screen there. I'm assuming it's Sainz. You can just see all the chaos that's going on up ahead. 4 abreast as they went through the second corner there, and Grosjean falling victim to both the Renault and the Toro Rosso there. So Hulkenberg keeping his nose out of trouble. Oh, the Sainz is in a bit of a sandwich here. I mean, assuming it's Sainz, I can't quite see the number. I think it's a 55 on the front there. But never mind. If I've got that completely wrong, I do apologise. So we're coming up for restart now. Hamilton is backing them up as we reach the final bend. Spud's doing a bit of last minute weaving there. Gets back into the queue. So Hamilton's, he's off. He's taken off just after the final bend there. It seems like a very good restart from him, followed by Bottas. Bottas might even make a move actually. The slipstream. Bottas is coming up the inside. Is he going to do it? Hamilton does have some momentum and he's now got the inside corner here. Nice little battle going on between the two teammates here. Reminiscent of Rosberg and Hamilton in 2014. And you've got the Ferraris into the mix now. So you've got 2 teams at it. Both teammates in both teams going at it on the bend there. You can just see the two Mercedes up ahead. It's 2 by 2 as you go into that bend there. And Hamilton is just ahead. We'll just have to see who's in front. Vettel came off worse against Raikkonen. SPUDS lunged up the inside here. I don't think he even expected to make that sort of move. He thought he could maybe cheekily get in front of Vettel here, but not to be, I'm afraid. He had to slot in behind there as he went round that tricky downhill braking into turn whichever number that is. Top-notch commentary here, because I usually have a track map up, but not this occasion. So, position 5 for SPUDS. Verstappen is just behind there. He obviously fell victim to SPUDS a little bit earlier on in the lap, but we didn't see it, unfortunately. There was too much going on up at front, and this could be a pit stop. No, it's not. In fact, I think SPUDS actually has forgotten to pit in because his pit light is green. But this is actually Ricciardo coming up the inside onto turn 1. Is he going to outbrake SPUDS? I think so. I think SPUDS is going to tuck behind. They can just see in the mirrors there to go back on board with SPUDS, and SPUDS has been dropped down to 3rd position. So some of the people who have gone into the pit stops come into the first phase as we reach lap 7 of 29 here this evening. Here you see Sainz is just behind us, so it must have been Sainz. I was going on the helmet there and I thought I could just see a 55 on the front, but never mind. We were just following Ricciardo through, and SPUDS should be coming in this lap, considering his pit light is green there on the heads-up display. And SPUDS goes wide. He messes up the braking completely. He does a bit of a lock-up on the curbs there. Now under pressure from Sainz, who's also got DRS open. But SPUDS also has DRS. A should be okay, which he is. He's outbraked the Toro Rosso on the outside there. Just sweeps in and holds on to that position. So there's a 1.4 second gap to Ricciardo. Not that it matters too much because we are going to pull into the pits, I assume. But the Toro Rosso could come back on SPUDS here. He is gaining, but he's not made a lunge up the inside, which is pretty good. A bit of oversteer for SPUDS there. And Ricciardo pulls into the pits, and SPUDS continues. SPUDS continues. He obviously thinks he can make the tyres last a bit longer. Either that or he's forgotten completely what the strategy is. Who knows, it could be either one, but the Toro Rosso has come up the inside, and it does seem that he's going to get ahead there. The Toro Rosso on the harder compound, the medium tyre, and it looks like SPUDS is losing some speed compared to him. So SPUDS really does need to think about pitting. You can just see Hulkenberg back there as well, as SPUDS had a little look up the inside, but decided better against it. So Sainz takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Sainz is actually on the super softs there. I really thought that the tyre wall was white. Oh no, it is red. It is red. It's just a trick of the video, I think. Either that or I'm going blind. But no, correct that. He is on the super soft, looks like everyone else. So it's not so bad. SPUDS doesn't feel so bad about Sainz overtaking him. But can he overtake him with the pit stops here? Let's have a look at this. Battle of the Crews. SPUDS goes for the soft tyres, and he's out in front of Sainz. There you go, there's Sainz just behind there, and the Toro Rosso crew will not be happy about that. It seems like they took quite some time getting those tyres changed on Sainz's car there. So you can see the Red Bulls going past there. And two Toro Rossos join up behind as well. So you got the two Force Indias. Ocon's got in front of Perez at some point, either that or he's not stopped. Ricciardo up ahead, and Renault just coming around there. So Ricciardo in second, SPUDS is in third. I can only assume one of the Ferraris is up front, unless they're coming up behind because they've pitted, which is a possibility. It's all a bit jumbled up at the moment, but all 20 cars are still in the race. Hamilton is in fourth there, half a second behind, so it does look like SPUDS is going to fall victim to the Mercedes pretty soon. Yep, he got a terrible run at that corner. And you see Hamilton just flying straight past in that more powerful Mercedes engine. But SPUDS is trying to get a decent run out of this corner here. Maybe he can come back on him on turn 1 with DRS. Can he catch up? It doesn't look like it, does it? But he is slowly creeping up. Is he going to do it? No, he thinks better of it. I don't think there's any possibility of that Renault staying in front of Hamilton. He doesn't want to damage his tyres as well, because he needs to bring these tyres through the race as far as possible. But there may be a second stop. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a two-stop race, the way things are. Massive kick of oversteer for Spuds there. Just holds on to it. Doesn't lose too much time, but it is a bit annoying for him. Kvyat is in fourth behind, 3 seconds down the road, so he's got a bit of a cushion, but he cannot break the concentration there. So there's Raikkonen is caught up to Spuds here. This is a few laps down the line, mind. There's Vettel just ahead. Raikkonen is going to make his move on the Renault there. He should maybe go up the inside. Is he going to do it? Not yet. He's just biding his time, getting tucked in under the gearbox of Spuds there. And he will make his move pretty soon, I'm sure. That Ferrari's a lot quicker than the Renault. And Ferrari will want to make progress. They'll want to make this a hat-trick as well, after their fantastic run in Australia and China. Maximum points scored. And it looks like Raikkonen is going to make a move, but actually both coming to the pits. This is a second round of pit stops here, both on the soft tyres. Look how close Raikkonen is to the back of Spuds. The Ferrari pit crew may be a match for Renault, unlike last round of pit stops with the Toro Rossos. Didn't get their man out in time, so there's Spuds being serviced. There goes the Ferrari. Is going to be out behind the Ferrari. I guarantee that. So Ferrari got their man out in front of Spuds then. And that's how the cookie has crumbled. Who's this going through? Is it one of the Williams? It is MASSA. Or it could be Stroll. I can't quite see the helmet, but Spuds was thinking about getting back past Raikkonen there. But I think he thinks better of it. He's just going to tuck in and maybe think about it. There's a yellow flag there. Someone's retired. Can't quite tell who it is yet, but Raikkonen, Stoffel Van Dorn is out. The McLaren has broken down. There's a surprise knot. Anyway, Raikkonen is on the medium tyre. Spuds is on the soft. Spuds has gone for a second set of softs, hoping the extra pace will help him get higher up the order. It's not looking likely for a podium finish, with Raikkonen up in fourth now and Spuds in fifth after someone else is stopped. Bottas is down in sixth. Don't quite know how he managed that, but obviously as Spuds just flicks through the condition of his parts, which is not good. As well, it's not great because we need to do some upgrades in reliability before we go down any power upgrades or chassis upgrades. Because one thing that Spuds does is he puts the floor, metal to the floor, pedal to the metal, that's the phrase I'm looking for, and completely ruins engines and parts as he does another inside left lockup. He does struggle with that corner sometimes. As much as practice he does, he's only human, I suppose. As that's Raikkonen getting past Ricciardo there, presumably for third position. Bottas at some point has gotten past Spuds. Don't know when that happened, mind, but he has. Obviously got caught up by the Mercedes and passed. So that drops Spuds down to sixth. Hulkenberg down into seventh. Well, the Renault's roughly on the same pace, considering where they started in the race. Not too bad. But this is the last lap of the race, and Sebastian Vettel is coming round the final sector now, coming up behind Alonso's McLaren. And it looks like he's played the perfect race, the perfect strategy, and he's going to make it 3 wins out of 3. Maximum points, 75 points. Sebastian Vettel comes round the final bend and wins in Bahrain. Congratulations to him and Ferrari, making 3 out of 3. But Raikkonen I don't think it's going to be on the second step there. I think it's going to be Hamilton's this time round. We'll be back on board with Love Spuds as Hamilton sets the fastest lap. Got to take something away from this. So Mercedes are getting back up there, but not on the top step yet, I'm afraid. So you can see 29 laps completed out of 29. Spuds coming through the final bends just now in 6th position. 2 cars have retired. We'll find out who the second one is just in a moment. But Spuds comes through and takes 6th position under the fireworks that are going off there. So a good race for Spuds. You can't really complain considering it wasn't one of Renault's strongest tracks. But he'll be happy enough with that. He's already punching above his weights, Mr. Spuds, and Hulkenberg as well, to some degree, in that Renault. But there's the winner. Sebastian Vettel wins in Bahrain. He is on a roll. Can anyone stop Ferrari this year? Are Mercedes going to get back on top? Who knows? There's a little shot of Ricciardo there in 4th. He's done quite well himself. He's quite happy with that. So let's just have a look at the race classification. Vettel, Hamilton, Raikkonen finish the top 3. Spuds and Hulkenberg in 6th and 7th there. Max Verstappen riding up the top 10. Magnussen, Perez, Grosjean, Massa, Wehrlein, Ericsson, Alonso, Stroll. And then Sainz and Van Dorn did not finish. And we're going to do things a bit backwards. The constructor standings first. Ferrari, Renault, Mercedes jump up to 3rd there. And Force India and Williams drop down to 5th and 6th. Look at the driver standings now. Vettel and Raikkonen extend their lead at the top of the table. Spuds holds on to 3rd, but only by a whisker by 2 points. Lewis Hamilton is making his way up, as is Bottas. Nico Hulkenberg drops down to 11th there. And still Sainz, Alonso, Van Dorn, Wehrlein and Ericsson on no points at all. So all remains for me to say is thank you for watching and join us next time for round 4 in Russia. I'll see you then.